Episode 255, Autism Parenting Changes You. And that isn't the end of your story. Well, hey, friend. Welcome back to the Not Your Average Autism Mom podcast. I am your host, Shannon Urquiola. And if you're new here, welcome. I am mom to two incredible young adults, Jordan and Maddie. And Jordan is autistic and 29 now. I am his guardian and caregiver, and I have been traveling this autism parenting journey for over 2 decades. I've spent the last 15 years advocating alongside families like ours and coaching moms just like me to help them lead a more balanced and happy life, even when life is hard. Today's episode isn't about strategies or systems or schedules. It's about something that I don't think we talk about enough. And it's about you and me and how autism parenting changes us. Not just how you parent, but how you plan your days, how you think, how you feel, and how you see yourself over time. And if you've ever felt like you're not the same person that you used to be, this conversation is for you. You know, we talk about therapies and IEPs and behaviors and milestones, but we don't talk enough about the quiet way that you disappear for a while, or the slow, confusing process of figuring out who you're becoming now. So today I want to talk about that because what most of us know is that autism parenting doesn't ease you into change. It drops you straight into survival mode. And in those early years, especially, everything becomes about your child's needs: appointments, routines, behaviors, sleep, school, safety. And somewhere in there, you fade into the background. Here's something I hear from moms I coach all the time. I don't even recognize myself anymore. I'm exhausted all the time. I don't even look the same. I don't feel like myself, but I don't even know what myself means anymore. And that's not because something is wrong with you. It's because you've been adapting. From a coaching perspective, this matters because your brain and nervous system learned that staying on high alert, prepared, and on edge all the time was necessary. And that constant state of readiness, it changes how you think and how you feel and how you show up. So if you've looked in the mirror and thought, who even am I now? That's not failure. That's you adapting to this new normal and trying to figure it out. You know, in the beginning, it pulls you so far away from who you used to be that one day, you might just catch your reflection and feel like you're looking at a stranger. You'll notice the exhaustion first, the tiredness in your eyes, the way your body feels different, older, tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix. This journey will challenge everything. You'll question yourself in ways that you never imagined. Your purpose, your strength, your patience. You'll ask questions that you never wanted to ask. Why my child? Why our family? Why autism? Autism doesn't just change how you parent, it touches every corner of your life. Your marriage may feel strained. Your health may take a back seat for longer than you intended. Your career, your finances, your friendships, all of it feels different now. And yes, even your relationship with God or your greater being may be shaken. You will experience a kind of love that is deeper and fiercer than anything you've ever known. And at the same time, you'll wonder how something so full of love can feel so hard so often. You know, before we keep going, I want to pause for just a second, because if you're listening to this and you're thinking, yes, that's me, this is exactly how I feel, I want you to know there is nothing wrong with you. What you're experiencing is what happens when you've been living in survival mode for a very long time. And this is actually where coaching can make a real difference. So, in my reset workshop coming up this Saturday, January 31st, I help moms just like you slow the noise down, step out of constant overthinking, and learn how to respond to stress and uncertainty in a way that feels more grounded and intentional. It's 4 hours of real coaching created specifically for autism moms to help you change how you experience this life, not just push through it. So, if that sounds like something you need right now, you can learn more and save your spot at the link that's in the show notes. And you'll also find the link on our social media pages. All right, let's keep going. Another shift that sneaks up on us is you may begin to feel invisible. And once you start losing your footing internally, something else often follows, and that's isolation. You might be at a birthday party or at school pickup or at a family gathering, and you still feel completely alone. Like no one else in the room is living in the same world that you are because your world doesn't match the conversations around you anymore. Like you don't quite belong where you used to. You're standing in a room full of people talking about little league schedules or, dance recitals, vacations, college plans, and you're just thinking about sensory overload and safety plans and medications or whether your child will even make it there at that location another 10 minutes. And that disconnect hurts. And over time, many moms start thinking, I don't fit in anymore. No one really gets this. It's easier to just not say anything. But here's a warning that you need to hear. When you start shrinking yourself to avoid feeling different, your confidence quietly erodes. Not because you're weak, but because you're carrying something really heavy without support. And when you're carrying all of that quietly alone, the questions get louder. The questions that shake you at your core. The ones I talked about earlier. Why autism? Why my child? Why our family? Why does everything feel harder? And for many moms, this isn't just emotional. It's spiritual. You might hear things like, you might say things to yourself like, I feel disconnected from God. I don't know what to believe anymore. I feel guilty for even questioning. But here's what I want you to hear. Questioning does not mean that you lack faith. It means you are human living this unexpected life. None of us planned this life. Coaching teaches us that unanswered questions don't have to paralyze you. You can hold uncertainty and still keep moving forward. Love and grief can coexist together. And this is a big one. You can love your child fiercely and still grieve the life that you imagined. Those two things are not opposite. Many moms feel judged by others and by themselves for feeling sad. Maybe you think, I should just be grateful. Other people have it a lot worse. Why can't I just accept this? But here's the truth. Grief ignored doesn't disappear. It just shows up later as resentment or exhaustion or numbness. Acceptance isn't about pretending it doesn't hurt. It's about allowing the feelings without letting them run your life. It's about accepting reality without resisting it because I always tell you, what you resist persists. And here's where things get complicated because even inside the hard, there are moments that shift you. There are moments along the way, moments that make the hard not feel so hard some days. They show up in ways that you never expected. The ones that show up in those forever hugs, in familiar songs that are played over and over again, in routines that bring comfort, in milestones that don't follow a timeline, but they feel monumental when they happen. You celebrate things other people take for granted. And hopefully you'll celebrate them loudly. But unfortunately, you'll also see meanness in the world. You just will. And I know we wish everyone would be kind and understanding and not stare or whisper, but they do. And the first time it happens, it might take your breath away. You think you'll know exactly what to say. You won't. You'll protect as best you can, and then you'll lie awake at night wondering how to keep them safe in a world that doesn't always understand kindness. You know, at first, this journey feels like a race just to keep up. And then later, it begins to feel like a race against time itself, against diagnosis, against fear. You'll try everything, research everything, advocate endlessly. Your hope will be tested. And eventually, slowly, you'll find something steadier than panic. Choosing acceptance on purpose every day. That's what I encourage you to do. Some days you will and some days you won't. And that doesn't mean giving up. It's just seeing clearly. There will be days that you swear you can't do this anymore. Days when it feels like nothing will ever get easier. Days when you're exhausted from fighting for services, for understanding, for basic ease in the world. And then without warning, there will be moments that stop you in your tracks. Your child masters a skill you never thought they would. A new word, a new food, a goal reached, a moment you were told would never come. And you'll look at your child and you'll know deep in your bones that they are capable and worthy and exactly who they were meant to be. You know, I coach moms to slow down enough to notice those moments. Not as pressure to be positive, but as grounding. Because noticing doesn't erase the hard things. It just reminds you that hard isn't the whole story. And in those moments, something shifts inside of you too. You stop seeing your child only through fear. And you start seeing their capability. And that's when many moms realize, you know, maybe I'm stronger than I thought I was. And maybe my child is too. Those are the moments that change everything. And then there's the part that we don't like to talk about out loud, the future. The older your child gets, the heavier that feels. You might catch yourself thinking, what happens when I'm not here? Will they be safe? Will the world be kind? Coaching helps by bringing you back to what you can control today. Not the next 10 years, not every possible outcome, but just this season, just right now. Autism parenting changes you. It turns you inside out. It strips you down. It asks more of you than you ever planned to give. But here's the part no one tells you at the beginning. It also pulls you back together. Not as the person you were before autism, but as the person you are always becoming. Stronger, more compassionate, more honest, more grounded. And I want to leave you with this. You are not broken. You are being reshaped, not into someone weaker, but into someone more grounded and more aware and more intentional. You won't go back to who you were before autism entered your life. But the best part is that you do get to decide, who do you want to become now? And that's where coaching comes in. Not to fix you, but to help you quiet the noise, to untangle your thoughts, to stop overthinking every decision and show up with more confidence in your life that you're actually living. So if you listen to this episode and you found yourself nodding along, if parts of this felt uncomfortably familiar, if you're realizing that autism parenting hasn't just changed your child's life, it's changed you, I want you to know something important. One of the biggest things that coaching has taught me, both personally and professionally, is that while we can't control autism, we can change how we experience it. You can learn how to stop spiraling in worst case scenarios, feel more grounded in the middle of those hard days, and show up with more calm and confidence, even when nothing around us is perfect. And that's exactly why I created the workshop Reset that I'm teaching this Saturday, January 31st. And it is not therapy, it is not a lecture, and it's definitely not about fixing you. It's 4 hours designed specifically for moms raising autistic children to help you reset how you're thinking and reacting and carrying the weight of this life. We're going to work through why your mind feels so overstimulated and stuck on high alert, how survival mode quietly becomes your normal, and simple practical ways to change how you respond to stress and uncertainty and overwhelm. You'll walk away with tools that you can actually use, not someday, but right now, in the middle of real life living alongside autism. So if you've been feeling exhausted or on edge or emotionally fried or like you've lost yourself somewhere along the way, this workshop was created for you. And I would love the opportunity to coach you, for you to join us, even for just those few hours, and let you experience what coaching can do for your life when you're raising autistic children. You can find all the details and save your spot at the link in the show notes. And it's an event on our Facebook page as well. And remember, if you're a member, the Reset workshop is already included in your membership. And listen, I want you guys to know there is no pressure, no expectations, just an invitation. If you're ready to stop just surviving this journey and start feeling more steady inside of it, I would truly love to have you join us. And if this episode put into words something that you've been carrying quietly, I want you to know you don't have to love every moment of this journey, but you can love your child and your life through it. Autism parenting changes you. That part is unavoidable. But it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you've been reshaped by a life that you didn't plan and you're still standing. You get to decide, who do you want to be now? And if you want support learning how to do that with more calm and clarity and intention, join me for my coaching reset workshop. All right, my friends, I hope this episode has been helpful, and I wish you a wonderful week ahead until next week when we meet back here again, same time, same place. And above all, remember, you, mama, are doing amazing at this mom thing.